Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Last time we have studies about the light reaction that occur in the plant for, for making the glucose and like the light reaction. This topic is very important. It is called the dark reaction. It is also called the Kelvin cycle. The Kelvin cycle is introduced by the Malvin Kelvin. As we study that the detail of the dark reactions were discovered by the Malvin Kelvin and his colleagues at the University of California. The summary of these events of the dark reaction, also known as a Kelvin cycle, is as the follows. The important rules of the dark reaction. The first of all, the carbon dioxide molecule are combined with the five carbon compounds. As we say in the molecules are combined with the five carbon atoms. In the other, the three carbon compounds are reduced and the three carbon carbohydrates by the using of the ATP and the hydrogen from the NADPH. In the five carbon compound of the temporarily six carbon compound are made, each of which split into the three carbon compound. So the three carbon compounds are reduced in the three carbon carbohydrate by using the ATP, hydrogen and the NADPH. It is the high energy molecule as we study in the last topic of the light reaction. The three carbon carbohydrate are used into the manufacturing of the glucose. And the third one is the three carbon carbohydrate are also used to regenerate their original carbon compound. This step also utilize the ATP. This process is again and again occurring by the plants, so the dark reaction is uh, reduce their energy. So now the role of the chlorophyll and the light in the plants. Sunlight energy is absorbed by the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll have the pigments that absorb the energy of the sunlight. It is then converted into the chemical energy which drives to the photosynthetic process. Only about 1% of the light falling on the leaf surface is absorbed, the rest of the reflected and transmitted into the air. It means that very small amount of energy is used into the light reaction for and in the process of the photosynthesis. The light rays of the different wavelength are not only differently observed by the photosynthetic pigment but are also differently effect in the photosynthesis. The blue and the red light carries out the more photosynthesis because the blue light is very acceptable by the pigments that is found in the chlorophyll, and the red light is also very useful in the photosynthesis. Photosynthetic pigments are organized in the form of the cluster called the photosystems. In the thylakoid membranes of the chloroplast, chlorophyll A is the main photosynthetic pigment that use and that absorb the more light. Other are the called the accessory pigments and include the chlorophyll B and the carotenoids. Chlorophylls absorb the mainly blue and the red light. Some wavelength some wavelength not absorbed by the chlorophyll A are very effectively absorbed by the accessory pigments and the vice versa. Now question arise here, the what is the pigments that absorb the light like the blue light and the red light? What is the pigments? That pigments are the substance that observe the visible light. It means the substance that use the visible light. Different pigments absorb the light of the different wavelength of the color. So the very important light for the photosynthesis in the light reaction is the blue light and the red light. Light is also the factor of the photosynthesis. It means if the light is increased, the photosynthesis increase, and if the light low down, so it means the photosynthesis process is also slowed down. So now our topic of the dark reaction, their summary and the role of chlorophyll and the light in the plant and in the photosynthesis is completed.